Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about Chiron in major adverse aspect to the North Node in a natal horoscope. As most of you know, Chiron is associated with the wounded healer. It represents an area in our charts that we often emphasize and accentuate strongly with others, but we often neglect ourselves in this area, and I think a lot of this is attributed to overcompensation, often due to the fact that we're expending so much energy and time helping others in this area that we often neglect ourselves. Now, Chiron is perceived or seen as an asteroid or planetoid by most people. I see it as far as its impact on a horoscope, like a generational planet. I think it has a lot more significance by house placement as opposed to the sign it resides in. It takes Chiron on average time is 4 to 5 years for Chiron to traverse a sign. So I look at it where the house placement is very strong, but the sign it resides in can flavor it a little bit anyway. Well, anyway, people, first thing I look at, if somebody has Chiron in a major adverse aspect to the North Node in their natal chart, this could indicate somebody that may experience some trials and tribulations connected perhaps with their North Node, their soul's mission or purpose, and what they're emphasizing or trying to accentuate strongly in the latter part of their lives. This could be a person that may have had difficulty perhaps developing those talents, those attributes that connected with their North Node later on in life. They might, Chiron is associated with the wounds that we receive, generally emotional wounds that a person may get, and this could be something where maybe this person is lamenting over their wounds, and it might be somehow precluding them from really attaining what they really want in that latter part of life, generally after age 30. This could be a person that the wounds may be such where maybe they're causing a tremendous distraction to this person, and there's somehow it might be doing something that maybe is maybe those wounds are just prohibiting this person because they're thinking about them so much, and it might be somehow connected with why they're having trouble making progress with the North Node placement. Now, a lot of this depends on the house placements of these aspects. Now, let's say that somebody has Chiron in the first house, and they have opposition to the North Node in the 7th house. Well, this could indicate where first house is, if someone has Chiron in the first, it could indicate somebody that has maybe experienced emotional wounds connected maybe with the way their outward demeanor presents itself, their outlook on life. Maybe the impression that they've left on others was not always good, and perhaps maybe to some degree their wounds connected with their outlook, for example, might impact what they're trying to emphasize in the latter part of their life in connection with relationships, their partnerships. Maybe somehow 7th house also is connected with open enemies or adversaries. Maybe something happened based on their outlook, their outward personality, which may be brought about maybe some problems with others, and maybe somehow made people maybe adversaries, not necessarily intentionally or maliciously, but maybe it's just the way it worked out. Now, for whatever reason. Now, let's take this. Let's take a square example. Let's say, for instance, somebody has, let's say they have Chiron in the 3rd house, and it squares the North Node in the 6th. Well, Chiron in the 3rd could be indicative of somebody that's experienced some kind of emotional wounds associated with communication, perhaps things connected with neighbors, maybe brothers and sisters or siblings, if applicable, early education, and perhaps these wounds might conflict somehow or cause problems, maybe to some degree, with what they're trying to emphasize in the sixth, in the latter part of the life, connected with the North Node in the sixth, such as their work, their employment, and perhaps maybe even their health. Maybe, for example, what somebody learned early on in life, or maybe what they didn't learn as far as health, matters are concerned, or what they didn't assimilate for whatever reason, might be connected maybe with health issues later on in the person's life, which and this person may have trouble emphasizing things associated with health for that reason. Or it could indicate maybe that this person, maybe there may have been difficulties in their early education which maybe precluded the person maybe from finding what they really wanted to in terms of their work life later on. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Chiron in major adverse aspect to the North Node in the natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about Chiron conjunct the South Node in the natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.